Europe is a place where ancient castles, hundreds, even thousands of years old, still exist. Those cold stone walls not only witnessed kings ascending the throne or heroic battles, but also preserved countless bloody tragedies. Over time, history and horror have blended together, creating haunting stories that make people shiver whenever night falls. What is most terrifying is that many of these stories are not fabricated legends, but come from historical records and the testimonies of soldiers, guards, and even modern visitors. In the Middle Ages, castles were not only residences of the nobility, but also centers of absolute power. Here, life and death decisions were made, torture and executions were carried out publicly, and many people died in agony without receiving a proper burial. It is believed that souls carrying resentment cannot find peace. Because of this, many ancient castles have become places considered to be among the most heavily haunted in the world. One of the most famous castles in Scotland, and also one of the oldest haunted places in Europe, is Edinburgh Castle. This castle was built in the 12th century, standing majestically atop a volcanic rock, overlooking the entire city of Edinburgh. For many centuries, it was the focal point of fierce conflicts between Scotland and England. Thousands of soldiers lost their lives, many were imprisoned and died in dark dungeons beneath the ground. The most famous and long-standing ghost story at Edinburgh Castle is associated with the image of a bagpiper boy, a figure whose name and origin are unknown, yet who has become the most haunting spirit of this castle. Legend says the story took place many centuries ago, when Edinburgh Castle was still a vital military fortress of Scotland. Beneath the castle exists a system of secret tunnels, believed to connect Edinburgh Castle with the Palace of Holyrood in the distance. These tunnels are dark, narrow, and have never been fully mapped. To check whether the tunnels truly existed and were passable, people chose a small boy, flexible and able to move easily through tight spaces, to descend and explore them. The boy was instructed to walk while playing his horn, so that the people standing above ground could hear the sound and track his position. As he began to move deeper underground, the horn continued to echo steadily through the thick layers of stone. Then, suddenly, the sound stopped completely. It did not fade away, it did not grow distant, it simply went silent, as if the boy had never existed at all. The people above panicked. They called out his name, but there was no response. A large search was organized immediately afterward. Soldiers carrying torches entered the tunnel, searching every corner and every dark passage. The search lasted for many days, but no trace of the boy was ever found. No body, no horn, not a single clue to explain what had happened. The boy seemed to have vanished from this world, right beneath the castle. From that moment on, Edinburgh Castle began to experience strange phenomena. Many guards claimed that at night, when the castle fell into silence, they heard the sound of a horn coming from below, a slow, mournful, and broken melody. The sound did not resemble wind or clashing metal, but was exactly like a boy trying desperately to signal his location. Visitors have also reported hearing the horn when standing near the ancient stone walls, especially at night or when thick fog covered the area. Some said the sound seemed to move, sometimes near, sometimes far, as if the boy's spirit were still wandering through the secret tunnels, forever unable to find a way out. People believe that the spirit of the horn-playing boy is still trapped beneath Edinburgh Castle, continuing to play, not to frighten the living, but to call for help, a cry for rescue that has echoed for hundreds of years without ever being answered. And to this day, no one dares to claim that all the tunnels beneath the castle have truly been fully explored. Not only that, castle guards have also reported seeing headless figures, hearing the sound of war drums echoing at midnight, and feeling watched while walking through the ancient corridors. What makes these stories more believable is that many of the witnesses are professional soldiers, people who are strictly trained and not easily influenced by imagination. Leaving Scotland, we travel to France, where Château de Brissac stands, a massive castle located in the Loire Valley. Built in the 11th century, Brissac once belonged to several powerful noble families. From the outside, the castle appears magnificent and peaceful, but hidden deep inside is a love story that ended in blood. The central figure of this tragedy is Charlotte de Breze, the wife of a French duke. When he discovered his wife's infidelity, the husband did not seek a trial or show mercy. In a fit of rage, he murdered Charlotte in her own bedroom. The young woman died in pain and despair, while her life was still ahead of her. From that moment on, people believed that Charlotte's spirit, often called the Lady in Green, continued to wander the castle. Visitors and staff have repeatedly seen a woman in a green dress appearing in the corridors before vanishing without a trace. At night, cries and moans are said to echo from empty rooms. Even more striking, the family that currently owns Chateau de Brissac has publicly admitted that they have also witnessed strange phenomena, and believe that Charlotte's spirit has not yet been able to leave. Next, we travel to Germany, where hidden deep within dense forests lies Burg Eltz, one of the few European castles that has never been destroyed in more than 900 years of history. The castle was built in the 12th century and has passed through many generations of the same noble family. This continuous existence leads many to believe that the place has accumulated countless spirits from the past. The most famous legend associated with Burg Eltz is the story of Agnes, the daughter of a lord who lived in the castle during the Middle Ages. Agnes grew up among cold stone walls, where the fate of a noblewoman was decided from the moment of her birth. Her life did not belong to herself, but was a pawn in political alliances between powerful families. When she reached adulthood, Agnes's family arranged a political marriage for her with an influential knight. This marriage was not based on love, but on strengthening power and protecting Burg Eltz from hostile forces. However, Agnes did something considered unforgivable in the Middle Ages. She refused. Not out of pride, but because she did not love the man and did not want to be forced to live a life that was not her own. In medieval society, such a refusal was seen as betrayal of the family and an insult to honor. Choice did not exist for noblewomen. Agnes's decision caused tensions between the two families to escalate. The rejected knight saw it as an unforgivable humiliation. From the broken marriage, hatred began to take shape. Not long after that, an attack took place at Burg Eltz. In the darkness of night, as the castle was surrounded, fires blazed outside the thick stone walls. The sound of clashing metal and the shouts of soldiers echoed throughout the valley. Agnes, in despair, put on a knight's armor and joined in the defense of the castle, an action extremely rare for women of that era. During the chaotic fighting, Agnes was killed. Some versions of the story say she was stabbed to death by the very knight who had once sought to marry her. Other accounts claim she fell while defending the castle gate. Whatever the truth may be, Agnes died a tragic death while still very young, carrying with her resentment and resistance that were never heard. After Agnes's death, people began to speak of strange phenomena within Burg Eltz. Staff and visitors have reported seeing the figure of a woman dressed in medieval clothing appearing in the room where Agnes once lived. The air in the room suddenly becomes cold, even in summer. Some people insist they have heard soft footsteps echoing across the stone floor, even though the room was completely empty. It is believed that Agnes's spirit remains at Burg Eltz, as if she never accepted the fate imposed upon her. She does not return to spread fear, but to remind others of a person who dared to resist destiny in an era that did not allow such defiance. Perhaps it is that very resistance that has kept her spirit from leaving these ancient stone walls. Today, these castles have become famous tourist destinations, attracting millions of visitors each year. By day, they are magnificent historical monuments, drawing people in with their ancient beauty. But when night falls, many believe the past is still not at rest. These spirits may not appear to frighten the living, but simply to remind us that the tragedies of history were real. And the final question still sends a chill down the spine. If you had to stay alone in one of these castles for a single night, would you dare?